Since the beginning of the 2022 Russo-Ukrainian War, Russia lost a lot of equipment. In this video, we listed the top 5 best Russian equipment lost in Ukraine so far. Enjoy! Number 5 is the Mi-28N. Mi-28's road from creation to the introduction was long and bumpy. The prototype was created in 1982 as a competition for the Ka-50 to replace the Mi-24, but eventually the Mi-28 lost and officially entered service in the significantly improved version, the Mi-28N, in 2009. The Mi-28N, which is often compared to the AH-64 Apache, is armed with a 30mm 2A42 autocannon. In addition, there are 4 external hardpoints for suspending various combinations of armament with a total weight of 1,600 kilograms. Interestingly, the Mi-28N doesn't have a radar, which appeared in helicopters for the Russian Armed Forces only in the UB Training and Combat version, introduced in 2017, and in the Mi-28NM, introduced into service in 2020. In the case of the Mi-28NM, which they only have a few, in addition to the radar and data processing system, the fire control system has been modernized. It was equipped with the defense system used on the Ka-52, and new armament has been integrated, such as GPS-guided LMUR missiles with a range of 14.5 kilometers. Before the war, the Russian military had about 110 Mi-28Ns, NMs, and UBs. So far, they lost at least 8 of them. Number 4 is the Ka-52. Serial production of the Ka-52 was started in 2008, but the first helicopter entered service with the Russian Armed Forces in May 2011. The Ka-52 is armed with a 30mm 2A42 autocannon. In addition, there are 6 external hardpoints for various combinations of armaments, with a total weight of up to 2 tons. An example of such weaponry is the 9K121 Vickers, of which the Ka-52 can carry up to 12. They have a range of up to 10,000 meters and can penetrate up to 1,000 millimeters of steel armor behind explosive reactive armor. Interestingly, on January 4, 2023, the Russians announced the delivery of 10 helicopters in the new version, the Ka-52M. However, it's not known whether they are new or modernized. The Ka-52M has been equipped with, among others, a new AESA radar, which is capable of detecting objects the size of an armored combat vehicle from a distance of 45 kilometers, or a new improved avionics. It was also adapted to the same armament as the Mi-28NM. Before the war, Russian armed forces operated around 133 Ka-52s. At the time of publishing this video, they lost around 33 of them. Number 3 is the Su-34. The Su-34 was developed primarily for the strike attack role to replace the Su-24. The Su-34 design retains the Su-27 basic layout, construction of the airframe, engines, most of its wing structure, tail, and substantial part of onboard equipment. It's armed with a 30mm GSH-301 cannon with 180 rounds. Aircraft has 12 underwing and under fuselage hardpoints for a wide variety of weapons. The Su-34 normally carries 4 tons of weapons. However, the maximum capacity is 8 tons. Since the publication of the previous video, the Russians have started using in Ukraine a new version of this aircraft, the Su-34M. It has modified onboard electronic system that allow for the use of a new optical, electronic, and radar reconnaissance pod from the Sich family. Also new is the Kopai DL rearward-facing radar, which, if necessary, warns of approaching threats and automatically deploys countermeasures and jamming. Currently, the number of Su-34s of both types delivered to the Russian Armed Forces exceeds 150, from which you have to subtract the losses, which are, as of the publication of this video, 18 older Su-34s, and 1 the latest Su-34M. Number 2 is the Su-35S. The Su-35S offers a feature set and performance, making it very nearly a 5th-generation fighter jet. It falls short on only 2 requirements: lack of stealth technology and active phased array radar. While lacking an APAR, the Su-35S new IBRIS phased array radar control system can detect targets at distances up to 400 kilometers and track simultaneously up to 4 ground targets or up to 30 airborne targets, as well as engaging up to 8 airborne targets at the same time. Besides, the radar control system has the friend or foe identification capability for aerial and maritime objects, is capable of identifying the class and type of airborne targets, and taking aerial photos of the ground. It's armed with a 30mm GSH-301 cannon with 150 rounds, and has 12 hardpoints for mounting missiles. At the time of making this video, they lost at least 4 of them. Number 1 is the S-400. The S-400 is currently the most modern Russian long-range surface-to-air and anti-ballistic missile system. Its task is to combat all kinds of air threats, including intercontinental ballistic missiles with nuclear warheads in the final phase of their flight. The history of this system dates back to the late 1980s, and the goal was to replace the S-300s. The first S-400s entered service on April 28, 2007. The Russians declare that the radar for the S-400 complex is capable of detecting targets from a distance of up to 600 kilometers, and the range of combating the enemy when using 40 N6 missiles is even 400 kilometers. Unfortunately, the reality is not so perfect, because in Ukraine, the successes of the S-400 on the battlefield against the HIMARSs are, to put it mildly, modest. To make matters even worse, in 2019, the Swedish Defense Research Agency published a report according to which the capabilities of the S-400 are twice as low as declared. Before the war, the Russians had 448 S-400 launchers in their arsenal. Until now, they've lost 1 of them. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Also, visit our second channel with military power comparisons. See you next time!